Do demonic beings and angels exist in the spiritual world? Numerous accounts in Scripture speak of Satan and his angels, who turned against the goodness, love, the ideal and the children of God, and who drove men to evil through evil temptations and fornication. The lord of these forces is Satan or demon or Beelzebul, prince of demons. Without a shadow of a doubt we can say that there is evil here on earth. The Bible speaks of Satan as the god of this world, 2 Corinthians, and that we are even his children because of the fall of Adam and Eve and contamination of our spiritual blood, Jn 8. Similarly, spiritualists confirm that in the spiritual world there is not only good and light. Since we now know that we enter the spiritual world at the same level of spiritual development that we have achieved here on earth, Matthew 18:18, it becomes apparent that those who have done much to satisfy their own selfishness, wickedness and have lived in sin, or who have lived with resentment and envy or other forms of wickedness, and have been possessed by wicked people or angels in that, will also continue in the spiritual world to act in the same way, and will try to make the remaining people on earth, devoid of conscience and non-believers, live the same life as them, because for these people in spirit it was the only life they thought they were living, and that was right for them, or just because they want to make as many people as possible serve the same level and punishments that they are living in the spiritual world. There is therefore also in that world, Satan, darkness and evil. The darkness are undoubtedly the result of ignorance and lack of understanding of God, of His ideal and purpose of life for us, of the divine dimension and its laws, and the laws that are established and imposed on us by Satan because of the fall of Adam and Eve. That is why Jesus himself, when he was arrested, said that there is a power of darkness, and that is why even the Apostle Paul in Ephesians 6 admitted that there are evil spirits that dwell in the heavenly regions. The spiritual guides for this are there, to help individuals who are eager to redeem themselves. They offer them opportunities to be able to grow and lead these people in spirit into the light, and into the higher levels of the spirit world. The accounts of spiritualists confirm that because of ignorance and lack of seeking to realize their own growth spirit, some individuals remain on levels of total darkness for very, very long periods. However, the conditions for rising in the spiritual level world are to help people on earth to grow up and free themselves from Satan and evil. Only then can one receive benefits and grow in the low-level spiritual world, as we cannot do concrete actions anymore with our physical body, because it was the good deeds that made us grow spiritually and the right use of the body, in accordance with God's ideal. Those people who did not grow spiritually on earth, they must cooperate in spirit with people on earth and help them use their bodies in accordance with God's ideal. That's why the Bible in Hebrews 11:39 states that though they testified by their faith, they did not obtain what was promised. They did not come to perfection without us. Here clearly explains this cooperation. Those who were not perfected on earth and died with original sin and a fallen, evil nature, do not get complete salvation and can only be perfected through people on earth, cooperating with them. In addition to ignorance of the laws of spiritual growth, there then exist in the spiritual, dark forces of evil generated by those who possess desires that are vengeful and evil. These forces, often called demonic, influence and haunt or implement the possession of people on earth. They are often also instigators of crime, violence, sexual abuse and other aberrations. People who have this kind of interest during their life here on earth will also look for like-minded companions in the spiritual world. The place where these people and evil spirits live can only be called hell, and it is a place where you are a slave of the master Satan, in that you have done his will on this earth and are his property, having accepted evil and having his own satanic blood, and you have to respect the hell world where Satan lives and rules. That's why it's very important to get rid of Satan and evil and original sin here on earth, where however God can work and manifest himself, even though it's Satan's world, where he is the God. In hell God cannot manifest himself. He can send spiritual leaders, but inevitably they will have a painful mission, and they will be attacked by the forces of evil and Satan himself. If a person in spirit ends up in hell, it is very difficult for some spiritual guide to reach and help him. That is why the Bible speaks of a place, hell, where judgment and eternal punishment are served. However, it is important to know that a God of love suffers greatly equally for these people who live in darkness, ignorance and misery, as he would have liked them to have a different life on earth and instead become the people he desired in creating each of his children. On the basis of desire and will, each spirit is, whenever possible, given the opportunity to embark on a journey upward. This kind of experience and possibility for growth and spiritual development is very clearly described in a recently reprinted A Wanderer in the Spirit Land, Wanderer in the Spirit Land by Francesco. Everything, however, comes through cooperation with people on earth. Spiritual growth in the spiritual world is made up of service and help at people on earth. It happens like this.